Now that we've wrapped up the initial setup process indoors, we've come outside to complete the flight test process. This process will involve using the AutoTune, which we had set up earlier, to allow the aircraft to automatically configure itself for flight. This will be about a 90% solution. You'll still want to go back and follow the steps under the tuning menus to optimally configure your aircraft to make it fly the best that it can. For this, I've had to bring along some help outside. So we've brought Al Burton as my spotter. It's a good idea to have a spotter when you're outside flying, as you want someone else to be able to watch the airspace. And Chris Martin will be functioning as my ground control station guy here. Chris will be monitoring what's going on with the flight and alerting me if there's any errors that are coming up on the screen. So now we are ready to actually configure the aircraft for the flight. The first step is going to be powering the battery on the aircraft. Transmitter should always be on first. Plug the battery in. You want it sitting on a level surface, ideally without much movement. So now Chris will actually connect to the aircraft and we'll verify that we have good communications. It may take a couple minutes the first time you're outside to acquire your GPS fix. Next, we will actually take the aircraft off, engage altitude hold mode first, and then we can flip the AutoTune switch, which is on channel 7, which on my radio I put on switch E. First thing I'll do is confirm with my ground control station guy that the battery voltage is good.
Battery voltage is 77%.
Next, we'll actually arm the aircraft. Take the aircraft up and get it into a stable hover. Verify that everything is functioning correctly. You can actually fly it around for a minute if you want, just to get a feel of it. We'll gain some altitude here. Put the aircraft in the altitude hold mode. And now we will engage AutoTune.
AutoTune started.
The whole time that AutoTune is occurring, you actually still have control of the aircraft. First it will AutoTune roll, then it will stop and AutoTune pitch. If the aircraft moves in a position you don't want it, you can just move the radio or move the stick and move the aircraft out to the distance you want. It will take several minutes for AutoTune to complete. You'll notice it's now started doing the pitch. So now it's returned to a stable hover. We will disengage AutoTune. You'll flip the switch one more time to fly the aircraft with the new gains. Get a feel for it. If it feels okay and it's flying like you want, now we'll just bring the aircraft down. It's a nice smooth landing. Once the aircraft is down, leaving it in AutoTune, you want to disarm the aircraft, thus saving your PIDs for future flights. So now that we've landed, we can now go to the config tuning window, choose extended tuning, and verify that our new numbers have been saved. You'll notice that many of these numbers have changed slightly. If you're happy with the way the aircraft is flying, you can call this good and that'll be the end of it. Otherwise, you can go in and keep fine-tuning the aircraft. If you do not have your camera or other things that may provide weight, you may need to go back and do this later with the additional weight on the aircraft. That completes our lesson for auto tuning.